land of the rising sun had me in its clutches long before I stepped off the plane. A place I had heard about, seen in photographs, wanted to know so badly that even inadvertently, I did not want to miss a single beat of my being there. I arrived the night before, the city already moving in the dark, the hotel room small, the air still. Just after waking, I'm careful, I'm anxious, I'm nervous. Today is my first morning. The taxi arrives at 4:45 a.m. The app's notification, a buzzing vibration on my phone. The car is a Toyota hybrid, black paint, white gloves. I'm on my way to my first assignment, a documentary photography project I'm working on. I'm supposed to reach the bakery before light breaks, before the baker arrives, before the first dough batch is kneaded, taking shape of a loaf, before the morning begins and the world wakes up for the need of a bite. When we arrive, the bakery is still dark, the shutters are closed, the streets empty. I'm careful, I'm anxious, I'm nervous, I'm here. I'm not missing a single beat. I will soon be starting work on my Japanese part of the project. Japan is strange. It is undeniably photogenic. It is reminiscent of romantic undertones. It has survived wars and has risen from the ashes. It has continued to value its own culture, stood proud in respect and ethic that invites. For far too long it has become a melting pot of collection of tourists and Instagrammers, YouTubers, with an interest in travel and culture, anime, manga, and video games. Yet somehow my interest rotates around the narrow streets, where steam rises behind the ramen shops, narrow buildings barely a few meters deep, where the chef stands in the middle, cooking, juggling pans and pots, with bangs and sweeps, with salarymen sitting alone in corners away from any interactions. Salarymen are recognizable. Black suits, graying hair. They are the loyal face of hard-working Japan, rewarded for overworking, for staying beyond their contracted hours, for putting an extra effort. In return, they are rewarded. It is estimated that they do over 50 hours of overtime while getting paid for only 30. They introduce themselves by their name, followed by the year they joined the company they work for. Many rest on the metro, with the gentle swinging of the carriage reminiscent of an infant sleeping in the back seat of a car, seemingly at peace. Perhaps we are still an infant at heart. An outlet is on their day off, when bars are loud, when neons glow, and when the streets become crowded. Japan made me feel alive, it made me feel happy. It also made me feel something I had gradually started to realize, a quiet FOMO, the kind that constantly nags the mind and says, do not miss this, do not miss anything. I wanted to take images for memory, I wanted to take images for the aesthetics that Japan offers. I wanted to take images for the want of exploring, for the want of seeing the beauty in narrow dead-end streets sandwiched between the skyscrapers of Tokyo. But at the same time, I was aware that not every visual aesthetic scene can be captured through the lens. A camera will only take what the photographer decides to take. It is the photographer that decides what to leave outside the frame. The fear of uncertainty real. Will I ever be able to come back again? When all the fear of missing out has settled, when I am at my best, or is it my first and last visit? Japan makes me fearful and hopeful all at the same time. Fearful of missing out and hopeful of perhaps one day again. And yet, looking at every scene with the eye of it being a photograph reduces and affects the presence of being. In that moment, it is the presence of being that roots mindfulness. It is the presence of being that helps us reflect on our thoughts, on our way of thinking, on who we actually are, how a place makes us feel, a smell makes us remember, a sight making connections to our emotions. An advice for photographers and for all of us who travel, psychologists will tell you this: the mind holds what it gives attention to. If you give attention to the frame, you lose the moment. If you give attention to the moment, the frame comes later. Scientists who study presence say immersion before recording. Breathe before you shoot. They say let the scene exist without you in it first. Then, if you choose, let your camera see it too. I remind myself, do not let the lens become the eyes. See outside of it first. Walk without a camera for once. Live in the moment. Breathe its air. Smell nostalgia. Let the eyes be the source. Let the camera be only what it is, a tool for memory if you want it to come back to. Do not substitute your being for a frame.